Sara Hsu is the CEO of the research firm China Rising Capital Forecast. She discusses the growing number of U.S. firms now taking part and how China can continue to foster international interest in the expo.
Well, it shows that the U.S. is very much invested in China, that the U.S. wants to demonstrate its commitment to being in China. There are some top CEOs that are going to be attending the meeting, such as representatives from Ford Motor Company and other auto companies. Also, Cargill representatives are going to be there, and so it's really important for the U.S. to show that it is invested in China and it's going to remain there, and that there's a very close U.S.-China relationship.
Oh, Ms. Hsu, anytime we talk about China and the U.S. and trade nowadays, we pretty much have to bring up the ongoing trade dispute. How will that impact the CIIE? And secondly, do you think there's any possibility that the trade war is going to leave some kind of hangover after this event is done?
Well, I don't think that the trade war is really going to impact the event itself very extensively. I think that it has impacted China as well as the U.S. Pretty negatively. But I think that there are still a lot of companies, both from the U.S. and China, that will be attending that are integrated and that do business together on an ongoing basis. And so I think that, in a sense, this defies the U.S.-China trade war and demonstrates that there is a strong commitment there. There are companies that don't necessarily believe the trade war is justified and that are going to sustain their relationship.
The first year, the deals and purchases reached about $57 billion. Can China continue to build on that? And what does it say about the world's second largest economy?
Well, I think that it demonstrates China's commitment to opening up, and it also shows that China wants to be a leader in terms of trade. China is also going to be hosting a mini ministerial meeting of about 30 World Trade Organization members. And so it's really trying to show that it is committed to global governance, unlike the U.S., which is backing out of global governance institutions. China is emerging as a leader. And I think that this is something that other countries find inspiring. Certainly, developing countries wish to emulate China. And I think that it's a really smart move on the part of the Chinese government.
One final thing that really jumps out at me, and I want to get this statistic correct. The World Bank says China is the 31st easiest nation in the world to do business in. That compares to 46th last year. So that's a significant jump. So when China talks about opening up and the ongoing trade dispute, one of the U.S. sticking points is China is not opening up to U.S. companies, or they're asking for trade secrets for those companies that go in. What does that tell you, that to make that kind of leap in 1 year?
I think China really is trying to open up. I do think that China does have issues in terms of forced technology transfer, and that's something that throughout the trade war, I think China has tried to address. I don't know that it has gone far enough, but certainly the trade war is not justified in attacking that, because it does virtually nothing to address that particular issue.
Well, great. It'll be interesting to see how everybody does once they settle down in a great city for a few days. Ms. Hsu, thanks very much. We appreciate the time.
Thank you.